we go. Right, so lads, welcome to the September 2019 patch preview. This is a preview, therefore it means that anything in this is subject to change. But we'll go through of what's roughly going to change anyway. So heavy tank call-ins. I think the whole heavy tanks, all the heavy tanks, from so you've got IS-2, KV-2, Command Panther, Stem, Tika Tiger, Pershing Crocodile, and Crocodile. Churchill AVRE. All those heavy tanks are now going to require last tier tech to call in, I believe. So obviously, Schwerpanzer headquarters, your major tier needs to be teched as for USF. Soviets need tier 4, and Ostheer need tier 4 built. Yeah. Medics are also faster now, which is cool. That hopefully makes speeding, just a quality of life change there. Heal troops. Teching and faction change for OKW. For OKW is very dominant in the early game. So yeah, basically what they've done here is they've reduced the manpower reserves from 340 to 320, and their fuel has gone up by 5. But trucks are a little bit cheaper to compensate for that. And also, Volk squads are now, I think, 260 manpower rather than 250, which is fine, I think, because Volks, were scaling quite, 260 manpower is not, 10 extra more cost is not too bad. So I think that's okay. That seems like a fair balance, because OKW are really strong in the early game and do tend to dominate too much in the early game. So the Schwerpanzer headquarters has got a really interesting change, for those who don't know. So the Panzer Cohort is being split into two parts to allow certain units to arrive sooner while maintaining the time it takes for OKW to deploy their armour in the mid to late game. The adjustment should also make strategies involving battle group headquarters more viable by allowing units like Obersan to arrive sooner. So basically, they've made the cost is 200 manpower, 120 down to 180 fuel. So 100 manpower, 80 fuel. So that makes, so you can now pop down your Schwerpanzer headquarters a lot quicker, and that allows you to have access immediately to the to Obersoldaten, which is great. And then, but you would then need to upgrade it with Panzer Authoritarian for 100 manpower and 40 fuel, so how much you would normally spend to get it back up. So you can see the 100 manpower and 40 fuel would be the normal cost of it, right? Because it's reduced by that much. And then that allows the Schwer to start shooting and also unlocks the tanks in the Schwerpanzer headquarters. And also, here's a big one as well. Panzer Authoritarian must be repurchased if the Schwer is destroyed, and is also still required for heavy tank call-in. So it used to be like, if you lost the Schwerpanzer headquarters, but you had built it, and you have still the battle grouper and the mechanized up, you were still allowed to call in the King Tiger, even if you'd lost one of those buildings. But I think now this change is now making it so that you need to rebuild that Schwerpanzer headquarters to be able to call back in the King Tiger. So here's the Volks squad change. There you go, 10 manpower more expensive. Stern Pioneers. I like this change. The big change here is the concussion grenade ability is now Vet 1 rather than Vet 3. Because it takes ages to get Sterms to Veterancy 3. It's quite easy to get into Vet 1. And then they'll be able to use that stun grenade ability more often, which is awesome. Now it's Vet 1. And also they've reduced the requirements so you can vet up a bit faster as well, which is cool. MG is also... Veteran requirements have been reduced there as well on the MG34. Kubelwagen. So the Kubelwagen is just the change to that is it's just quicker to repair now. That's all you need to know about that. Quicker to repair it. That's a good change because Kubelwagen is just no one ever makes it anymore in a competitive game, and it just takes too long to repair. And now the Stern Pioneers are less, because you want your Sterms shooting and or capping and stuff, not repairing. Raketenwerfer. So Raketenwerfers, they've increased the crew size by 1. They've increased the range by 5. And also they now, remove the automatic camouflage, but the camouflage now locks the unit in place and cannot move, but it can still rotate, and it needs Veterancy 1 for camouflage. And I feel like, without reading this straight all the way, I think they've now made it so that Raketenwerfers out of cloak, are better firing now anyway. Than what they previously were. So that's interesting. So Raketenwerfers, but I still feel like Raketenwerfers, right? They've still got no green cover, right? Like every other anti-tank gun has for the crew, which means that Raketenwerfers are still going to be really easy to decrew with tanks from the front, which I'm a bit worried about. But yeah, I mean, it was a bit silly being able to move up a Raketenwerfer, invisible, go around the back line and take out like a Stuka or something without being spotted. It was a little bit unrealistic. So I'm glad. I mean, that's a decent change. The flak half track, so that's made a little bit cheaper. It's now 50 fuel rather than 55 fuel. So this is the battle grouper flak halves you can call onto the battlefield. No one makes it lately. So the veterancy 5 bonuses have been moved to veterancy 3. Veterancy 3 and 4 bonuses have been moved to veterancy 4 and 5. So basically it makes it more attractive because the veterancy 5 bonus, I think increased, I can't remember what it did, but I think it increases accuracy or something. I don't know, or fire rate. So now it's just better. I think it made it suppress a vet 5? No, it's suppress anyway. I don't know, maybe someone in chat could clarify that while we're going through. Okay, Tiger 2. Okay, the changes have been made, this is the King Tiger, have made to make its main gun more reliable at forcing off enemy infantry by increasing the amount of health and damage it does, or reducing the radius that it can kill full health models. Furthermore, to help define its unique role, the Spearhead ability has been moved to veterancy 1. So the Spearhead ability allows it gives it more, I think it can shoot further from the front, but the turret just locks in like a 90-degree angle. And I think it's, so it's better. It's got more reliable at hitting infantry now. Because not used to like, so if it hit infantry, it would smash them really hard, but a lot of the time it would just miss and not do any damage. So this makes it more reliable. The Opal Blitz has got a nice little change. The big one here is it's now 1 CP, so it can cool on a lot faster, and also has access to ambulance healing. So this is OKW. So you can have an ambulance healing aura thing with the Opal Blitz, which is very nice. Which means that you don't have to go for battle grouper with this. You could go mechanized, call on an Opal Blitz, and the Opal Blitz can act as your healing, right? Permanent healing thing in your base, for instance, which is quite nice. So that's I can see people using the Opal Blitz. I can't remember which commander has the Opal Blitz in with OKW. Actually, we can have a quick look. Let's have a quick look. 2 seconds. This is the Firestorm commander. Okay, let's look at OKW. So it was the Firestorm commander over here. Okay, there you go. So that's going to make this commander more attractive. So you can go mechanized with this. So you can go like Puma, Panzer II, Opal Blitz in your base for healing. So you don't have to go mechanized. You got assault. You got flames on your Stern Pioneers to clear buildings, and then the rocket barrage. It makes it more attractive, the Firestorm commander for sure. Okay, back to this. Okay, here we go. So the League Incendiary Barrage as well. So there's the same commander as well for this. So that's made it more reliable. Reload has been increased. Scatter has been reduced. So yeah, and dot damage changed from 1 to 2. So that's increased, doubling the amount of damage it does over time. So it's going to make it even more effective against SimCity players. Flamehetzer is better now. They've reduced its reactionary requirements to convert up faster. Overwatch flares now must be planted. That needed to be added a lot earlier, a lot sooner. It wasn't a massive thing, but I think that's a really good thing because it's just like you just cap a point in every territory you have. You choose this command, every territory becomes a flare point, which is stupid, right? So now you have to plant it, makes it more micro-intensive, which is good because it's not. You shouldn't be given something for nothing, right? So this makes you have to take time and energy to go do something. Radio Silence is also now a bit more attractive. It also does, it's a normal ability and also adds 1.2 movement speed for infantry. Increases cost by 50 munitions though. Command Panther. Now 9 CPs, however, it is now requires the Schwerpanzer headquarters with upgraded Panzer Authoritaria, should be called it. So you can no longer just cheaply like ride in battle group and mechanize and then go for Command Panther. You have to build your Schwer and upgrade it to get it out. Sight range has been reduced by 5. Cost has been reduced by 25 fuel and 40 manpower. And the aura sight bonus has gone down by 5. So that should be okay now. I guess that's a good change to the Command Panther. Infiltration grenades, the cost has been increased by only 5. 5? Maybe I would have said 25, but I don't know. Infiltration grenades, I mean, they definitely need a price increase. 15 was too much it was too little for how effective they were. Sturmtiger now needs a fully operational Schwerpanzer headquarters. So again, same thing with the Command Panther. It's now 8 CP, so you can get it a little bit sooner, but you still need the Schwer upgraded. Right, Fallschirmjägers. They have not been very popular due to the high cost, timing, and due to them to being outclassed by Opal Soldaten. Changes have been made to allow them to arrive sooner and scale better with veterancy and tech, at the cost of having less firepower upon deployment. So they're now 60 manpower cheaper to call in. They now drop with Car 98s, like so they drop like a Gren squad, but they can upgrade with G40, upgrade with the first lot of G42s for free, okay? And they upgrade the second lot with 60 munitions. And then that's only once the Schwerpanzer headquarters is deployed. This does not say it needs the Panzer Authoritarian, so the second upgrade in the Panzer headquarters to have this, so it's only when it's down, it seems. And they've also, mid-range has been increased to 21, threat rate of fire has been increased to 7, and the cooldown's been reduced. So I think this makes this a little bit more appealing overall. I think these are buffs towards the FG42. So, and they also got the Veterancy 5 accuracy bonus to 50% first strike bonus. So what that means when they come out of camouflage, that's the first strike bonus when they first start hitting. So that would be cool. So that would make full shooting more attractive, and also one CP cheaper. So the 2 instead of 3 CPs. They come on the same time as shock troopers and guards now, which is cool. Because I never understood why there were 3 CPs and shocks were 2 and guards were 2 and all that, and rangers were 2. It doesn't make any sense. Right, sector assault. The anti-infantry airplanes and sector assault were too effective, instantly pinning infantry. Okay, so just nerf that. Assault artillery, due to the way assault artillery worked, the use ability was very limited and often minimal damage in large sectors. The ability has been reworked to like more conventional off-map artillery abilities. The ability is no longer bound to one specific sector resource, can now be targeted on any location with sight, except base sectors. Now drops 20 artillery shells over a 50-meter radius, following up by 50 smoke shells. That's nice. So it gives it more specific artillery where you want to drop it. Sturm Officer has been completely reworked to be an effective combat unit. So this is the commander with the Jagdtiger and the Panzer Fusiliers, I believe. Aura has been removed, so he doesn't give a buff to nearby squads, but he does have still have his abilities, which is like target enemy squads down fast, get more damage on enemy squads or reduce the amount of damage you take or something. Retreat on officer, model death removed, so that's a nice little, that was the only unit in the game that had that weird mechanic on it, and removing it I think is a good idea. CP has been increased to 2, which I think is fine. It also can now gain veterancy, this squad, because beforehand you couldn't gain veterancy. Now it does. So it reduces ability cost by 10 munitions, increase the squad size to 5, so starts as 4, gets to 5, and 10% ability to range, 40% more accuracy, 29% received accuracy. Officer switches to an SGG, PG variant, and gains shared veterancy. So that's cool. So it'll be a 5-man squad, officer with an SGG. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about this squad being able to pick up weapons, which should be clarified in here, because I believe the Sturm Officer could not pick up any weapons beforehand, and maybe he could pick up something now. I don't know, but the fact that they haven't said anything about it means that they probably haven't changed that, so it still can't pick up weapons. But yeah, that's cool. Good changes to the Sturm Officer. Sharing veterancy means that when other units kill enemy squads nearby this squad, the officer would also gain veterancy from enemies getting kills and stuff, or enemies getting damage, or friendlies getting damage on enemies. Command Tiger, main gun anti-infantry damage standardized, deal more reliable damage, same thing as the King Tiger there. Also reduced its veterancy requirements as well. Yeah, so it's faster to vet up. Thorough Salvage. Takes time to complete. Thorough salvage has been reduced. Being a doctrine ability slot that replaces regular salvage, we feel that it should not force players into more risky situations. So that's 20 seconds to 11 seconds. So I think it's the ability where you can get munitions and fuel out of salvaging destroyed wrecks. And now they've reduced the time from 20 seconds to 11 seconds, so almost half. Okay, big one. UK infantry sections. Infantry sections have been identified to be slightly overperforming since anti-tank grenades or Royal Engineers were introduced to help zone out vehicles. The following changes are intended to slightly alter their performance without diminishing their role as the backbone of the UKF. Infantry section Lee-Enfield damage is being lowered to reduce their effectiveness versus enemies in heavy cover, and their burst damage, as they were the only squad that could potentially kill a model in one volley, which gave them an advantage in firefights. The rifles have been given high accuracy in return to keep roughly the same DPS profile at all ranges. Furthermore, to solidify Tommy's defensive nature, part of their received accuracy has been moved into the in-cover mechanic so that they will be more vulnerable when advancing or caught out of cover. This will also lessen the effectiveness of brick blobbing. That's very good. Because right now people are just going, you're seeing like 4 or 5 squads of 5-man Tommies pushing forward. Now that they'll be pushing out of cover, they're going to be way more vulnerable to taking damage, right? Pyrotechnics has also been received a slight adjustment due to the sight bonus its sections got when in cover of HC1. So accuracy has been Yeah, the accuracy has been increased, but they've lowered the damage overall. Received damage accuracy has been increased by 1. Squad models gain 0.89. Received accuracy when in cover. Restores original value of 0.8. Okay, so when they're in cover, they're back to their old one. Oh, what have I done there? Oh, what's going on here? Why am I moving my... sorry, chat, 1 minute. Okay. So Tommy upgrade. So you upgrade the Tommy upgrade, removes the cover bonus and grants its passive instead. Upgrade receipt. Okay, so that makes them. So sort of Tommies don't have that horrible received accuracy bonus against them, so that makes them stronger against attacking units. And then the sight has been reduced by 8 there. Okay, Vickers suppression has been, in order to counteract the slightly reduced performance of the infantry sections and improve build diversity, the Vickers has been getting increased suppression. Wow, I thought that's interesting, because I thought the Vickers was probably one of the machine guns that suppressed the quickest. So that's interesting. So they've increased the Vickers, and also the sniper, the British sniper is a big one here. Ready aim time has been reduced massively to standardize itself with all other snipers. So now the British sniper won't be, you know how the British sniper kept on going flat on the ground, and they kept on, would never get the shot off in time. It kept on going flat, fire, and then the enemy squad would run past you before the sniper could get the right shot in, because it just took way too long for him to fire. Now that will no longer happen. He'll be able to lay down, take the shot, and move and be like the other snipers, which is massive, which is awesome. So that's cool. When downtime increased from 4 to 4.5. So that means wind down time, correct me if I'm wrong, that means the time between shots is increased by 4.5, I think. Or is the wind down time the fact how long it takes for the unit to get back into camouflage after firing? I can't remember, but I think that's something like that. But yeah, basically the British sniper standardized, which is cool. Comet. So the Comet definitely needed changes. The Comet is lacking in its role as a premium late game tank due to its lack of combat scaling and weak anti-infantry capabilities outside white phosphorus shells. These issues have been addressed with the changes below. Manpower, 20 manpower cheaper. Scatter has been reduced. Damage has been reduced. Yeah, damage at close has been reduced. Damage at mid has been the same, and damage at long has been reduced. AoE distance has been reduced as well across the board, apart from long range. Efficiency 3 now adds minus 20% reload to reload speed, and now has heavy crush. Basically, over and all, the Comet, reading through that, because the scatter is the big thing there. That makes the Comet more reliable at killing infantry and stuff. So that's cool. Cromwell, speed has been increased to 3 from 2.6, so it's now going to be super fast, which is awesome. Well, not super fast, but it's going to be fast. It's going to be the fastest medium tank in the game now, which makes it definitely a tasty unit to get to, like, maybe spam, get like 3 or 4 Cromwells and rush a King type, because you can outflank it or whatever, or maybe get a Cromwell to flank round, flank anything. Target size as well has been reduced by a little bit, which means that, other things are making it less likely to get hit. Firefly made a little bit cheaper in terms of fuel, 10 fuel cheaper, and the tulip rockets are cheaper by 20 as well. So only the upgrade though. The tulip rockets themselves stay the same cost. Churchill has been increased in population cap by 2, and the grenade ability is now efficiency 1 ability. That's a good change. You shouldn't get a free ability for nothing, in my opinion here, especially when that ability is very strong. Those grenades. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed the grenades themselves, the damage on them, because they are pretty good. But they've now made it efficiency 1 ability. Now placements, you can now deconstruct emplacements, but you don't get any refunded resources. So I guess this is a nice quality of life change. As you might want to get rid of a mortar that's not doing anything for you, or a Bofors when you want, in terms of the late game, because you might want to buy a tank instead, right? So because you free up population cap. That's I guess it's a good change. Not funded any resources. I'm not sure about that. Like, I feel like you should be refunded maybe a small amount of resources or something, No resources is a bit of a kick in the face. I don't know. Okay, both Crocodile, Churchill Crocodile, and the big heavy Churchills, the Crocodile and the AVRE, they now require the end stage tech, and they also need now 9 CPs. Now either requires Anvil Tactics or Hammer Tactics to be called in, so they need tier 3 for Brits built, and they need to upgrade that Hammer or Anvil. The Jackson has been increased by 5 fuel. It is a fairly decent tank for what it does, I think. And the Scott has now been, the lack of input requires, yes. The Scott and the Pack Hounds, both of these units are getting nerfs here, which is good because, you can leave them to just shoot, leave them on their own and the AI for them will just kill anything, So this is nice. So auto-fire reload has been increased to compensate for that. So now it'll take longer to fire on its own. Same thing, hang on. HE barrage recharge from 675 to 55. Smoke barrage from 60 to 45. So it's reduced the time on that. So it makes it more micro. So basically, it's making it more micro intensive. Okay, you now have to micro these units more, which is good. I think definitely. You shouldn't be able to leave them. And it's like I think like the mortar pit as well. The mortar pit should be like one of those units from the Brits that needs more micromanagement. And same thing with the bowfalls as well. Similar to the M8 Scott, yeah, here we go. Auto fire scatter from 6 to 8.5, so it's more likely to the damage to be spread out, not to be more concentrated. And the recharge time has been reduced to compensate. So it encourages more people to, again, micro the unit with using barrages, because it's reduced the time for barrages. Okay, more half-track damage over time frequency. Where Frosters deal too much damage for how cheap the ability is, so they've nerfed that. Perching, major tech required, 9 CPs. Armor has been reduced by 30, but the health has been increased though to compensate for that, so that's just like, whatever. So yeah, so it says the unit has now more hit points, but has reduced frontal armor. The anti-infantry performance of its main gun has also been standardized with other heavy tanks, although it will still deal the most damage. Also, the big one is Veterancy 3 reload time from minus 50% to minus 30%, because once you get the Veterancy 3, Pershing was freaking a godlike tank, because it fired twice as fast as it used to. Now it's minus 30, so it's still going to be pretty good, but not as good. So I think that's a good change, because the Vet 3 Pershings were pretty too strong. Time on target, finally, final 3 shells no longer scatter. It's good, so they're more centered around where you want to fire. Makes it more reliable at taking down maybe a Schwerpanzer headquarters, like German OKW building structures. Rifle company, okay, so they removed the exhaustion debuff. That's just gone, so that makes it more tasty to go for this commander. And the rifleman flares have been merged with flamethrower slots, so they can gain flamethrowers. So what gains flamethrowers here? Who gains the flamethrower? The rifles or the engineer? I think it's the engineer. So I think Reshon's gained the flamethrowers as well with this. So there's 2 abilities. So they've added the flamethrower into this commander. Rifle field defense is added. Oh wait, no. So that was already in, and they added this ability. Field defense is added to the doctrine. So riflemen will be able to plant mines faster, and mine M6 mine max number of engineers from 2 to 4. What does that mean? M6 mine max number of engineers from 2 to 4. Does that mean 4 engineers can now build it rather than 2 engineers at a time? I'm not sure what that means. Needs clarifying. Paratroopers. Paratroopers are generally in a good spot right now, though they will see some minor changes to solidify their performance. Some of their received accuracy from veteran was removed to their base target size to give them an easier time of getting started at the time they enter the battlefield. Paratroopers' time demolition charge is now guaranteed to destroy abandoned team weapons, which is cool. Target size has been reduced by 0.05, but they've adjusted the veterancy. Veterancy 3 are actually bonus accordingly, 29% to 25.3. Okay, so that's just like balancing the early game with them out, and then the late game with them getting it. The late game Vet 3 paratroopers is a little bit worse, but I think that's overall it's a good thing. Right, Ostheer. Here we go. This is a really good change. Minesweeper upgrades now gives the 0.3 repair speed to Pioneers, so they can repair faster, because you know how long it takes to repair tanks as Ostheer. Especially when you get Pioneers and they don't have any veterancy, it takes them a lot long to repair things, because you end up losing Pioneers quite a lot during the match. So this is nice, good change here, so you can instantly get the extra repair speed. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh. But I wonder if you can combine this, right? The Minesweeper upgrade with the upgrade from the new German Ostheer commander with the assault grenadiers and the satchel. You remember you can upgrade pioneers so they can lob satchel charges. That ability also upgrades their repair speed as well. So if you can upgrade the sweeper upgrade and also upgrade that, I wonder if it stacks. So then it'll be 0.6 repair speed increase. Because I think the upgrade is 0.3 as well on the other one. So that is pretty goddamn good, I think. I'm just thinking, right? Because if I just show you guys here in Company Heroes, right? Let's go to Ostheer. This command I have at the moment. You see here it says breakthrough equipment. Pioneers can upgrade it with special packages to clear obstacles. That ability that Pioneers get gives them... that increases their repair speed. So that's really cool. So you might be... because I know you can upgrade that ability with a flamethrower and a sweeper. Wait, sorry. So that means like you can have flamethrower in this ability or a sweeper in this. But you can't have obviously a flamethrower and a sweeper. But you know you can have the special packages with flames or special packages with sweepers. Hopefully that makes sense. So that should be cool. All right, back to this. There we go. Right. So the mortar counter barrage range has been done 8, so it makes it more reliable at safely bombarding enemy mortars at range. The 222 machine gun penetration has been increased by a little bit. Okay, that's not a massive thing. It's the main gun on the 222 that's going to be doing the penetration there. So just ignore that. It's not really important. 251 half track. We would like to make the unupgraded half track more reliable, more tasty. What's the word I'm looking for? More wanted. I can't think of the right word, but more desired. That's it. Yeah, make people want to use this unit more. So they increased the standard base sight range from 35 to 42, so you can see further. The upgrading it to a flamethrower, however, reduced the sight back to its original state. Infantry squads that are garrisoned inside the half track will heal themselves. Ooh, that's a brand new thing that's never seen in Company Heroes. You never, being able to put units inside a vehicle and they can heal. That's the first time this has happened in Company Heroes history, which is cool. So that's nice. Sight range multiplayer from spotting scope upgrades has been reduced to 1.63. We're not upgraded with anything. Okay, so they've realised that buff and then the spotting scope upgrade with that would make it too strong. So they've nerfed when this upgrade. It still increases its vision by more, but it won't be doubled, if you know what I mean. It won't be OP. Right. PGs and Stormtroopers. The G43 squads have been changed to make them more interesting and attractive choice for their standard weapons. The price has been changed accordingly. So let's have a look. So mid accuracy has been increased. Fire has been increased. Cooldown's been decreased. Aim time's been decreased. Cost return to 60. So it makes it... So this is cool. So it makes the G43s a lot more effective. I definitely want to test this out and see if the PGs and Stormtroopers will be more active, or more effective with these. So basically, when you want G43s, you want to increase your moving accuracy, and also your rate. So the reason why you upgrade G43s is so you do better at attacking units while chasing them down, and also while with grenadiers that is. But with Panzer Grenadiers and Stormtroopers, you shouldn't, because they have MP40s or STGs. So if you're going to do it with Panzer Grenadiers and Stormtroopers, you're going to want to put, if you're putting G43s on them, then those squads become ranged units. You want them firing at range. You don't want them getting close and personal, if that makes sense. Yeah? Alright, the MG42's upgrade sight range will be reduced to match its firing range. So the bunker sight bonus from 25 to 5. Total sight reduced from 55 to 40. Okay. No one uses bunkers anyway, so whatever. That's not important. Tiger 1 has been dropped down to 9 CPs, but it will require Battle Phase 3. Oh, okay. Before it can be called in. So you don't need you don't need to build your tier... Yeah, so you don't need to build tier 4, you just need to tech Battle Phase 3. Additionally, the anti-infantry performance of its main gun has been standardized. Veteran requirements have also been lowered. Okay, so it just needs tier 3. You don't have to build tier 4. Sorry, it needs Battle Phase 3. So when we talk about Battle Phase 3, that means you're teching up to tier 4. So you only need to actually tech up to tier 4, not build tier 4, if that makes sense for everybody. So it's now, the AoE distance has been reduced. AoE's damage has been obviously increased. Scatter angle has been reduced. Okay, it's more reliable. It's the same thing with all the Tigers and all the tanks have changed, the heavy tanks. Spotting scopes. Give combat vehicles a bit too much of an advantage because they activate almost instantly after movement stops, but the activation delay will be increased by 1.5. I think it's 1.5 seconds, right? Okay, that's cool, because yeah, it is quite a strong ability to have that, so, you know, it gives you, you know, you have to set up accordingly. You don't want to, it doesn't make sense to be able to push forward, you immediately get the vision bonus. Allows opponents dealing with spotting scopes to react to enemies pushing up to pull away if they need to now, without getting shot immediately. Supply drop. Oh, this is interesting. Manpower cost. The weapon drop has been slightly reduced in its cost in order to better match the costs with similar weapon drops like those in the US Airborne Company. Manpower cost reduced to 400. Nice. That was already quite strong. So this Ostheer doctrine, the supply drop dropped a machine gun, a pack gun, some munitions, and some fuel. For 400 manpower, and I think some munitions now. I think it costs as well, right? I can't remember. Does it cost any? I think it only costs manpower to call this in ability. I think it's just manpower. That's really good, actually. That makes it stripping even stronger now. That's cool. Right, P4 command tank. The command tank will now require either tier 3 or tier 4 to be called in. Initially, there were some changes to its performance. Okay, so now 7 CPs now requires either support armor corps or heavy panzer corps built. Okay, so it just needs tier 3 built to be able to call it in. Fuel cost has been reduced by 5. Aura damage modifier from 0.9 to 0.9 as was previously intended. Wait, is that an increase? Wait, aura damage reduction modifier from... Okay. So it's reduced the damage taken to 0.9, which means it's a buff. Right? Am I reading that right, chat? Aura damage reduction modifier. It's a nerf. It's a nerf? How's it nerf? Explain it to me. I'm confused. 1 minute. If you increase the reduction on the damage modifier. Wait, what? No, it's a nerf. Before it was 20%. Now it's 10%. How does 20? That now I'm confused because it's only changed by 0.1. How does 20%? How does that go from 20% to 10% due to 0.1? Increasing negative. Wait. Or a damage reduction modifier from 0. This is why, you know, like, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that gets confused when you read these things. It's like, what? Oh, it's 8%. Oh, okay. I got you. Right, okay. Before it received 80% damage, now it receives 90% damage. Okay, right. Okay, alright. So, for people watching the VOD, to clarify what that means, so it is a nerf. It is the vehicle will now receive 10% more damage. Everything now will receive 10% more damage in the aura. Okay. All right. Target weak point ability. In order to make the target weak point less confusing, as they have different effects on different units, the abilities were renamed on several units to help distinguish them. The Stug E and the Stug G weak point is renamed to Heat Shell. And the Pumas has been target weak points replaced with Open aim shot ability. Okay, that's cool. Alright, Soviets. Well, Soviet weapon. The cost of tier 2 has been made slightly cheaper to make it more competitive return to tier 1. Okay, so it's 10 more. It's 10 fuel now rather than 20. So that means you can get T70 out quicker, I guess, overall. When we think about that. Maxim will receive slightly better area of effects of suppression. This means that they will still perform the same against individual squads as they did before, but it will be better at suppressing several squads. So it's better against blobs. Maxim is better against blobs. Conscript 7-man upgrade. Due to the popular sentiment on this upgrade arriving too late, there have been adjustments to make upgrade arrive sooner in order to allow conscripts to function as a combat upgraded infantry without relying on doctrinal items or call-ins. Now requires tier 3 and both anti-tank and molotovs to be researched, or tier 4. Okay, so you can get it. So if you have tier 3 out and you have molotovs and you have AT grenades, you can have 7-man. So that's nice. You can get it a bit quicker. Might be. Don't know if 7-man cons are quite strong actually. So, right, combat engineers. Upgrading the super gives them repair suit as well, so same as pioneers. That's nice. So both of them get both Ostheer pioneers and Soviet engineers get that change. This is an SG-72 barrage. The barrage on this has been changed to have reduced raw killing power and deal more reliable health damage instead. Okay, that's cool. Because sometimes it can wipe an entire squad in one go, right? Which is like fuck. So basically, this will nerf it, which allows Axis players more time to pack up their machine guns or move away their support weapons before getting installed. Because the amount of times that I've had a machine gun get instant wiped on the first shot has been annoying. And this allows you to get, buy you time to get away. So that's a nerf, which is good. And good for Axis, and I think that's a good nerf. Guards hit the death ability has been renamed to firing positions. Okay, well that's fantastic. Cool story, bro. Conscript's assault package. PP set upgrade for conscripts have been changed to be available earlier. 3 to 2. Ooh, okay. Interesting. That might be too strong. Needs testing. Shock troopers. Yes, frag and smoke cooldown has been increased. Thank fuck for that. The grenade cooldown on shock troopers has been increased to reduce how many grenades they can throw during an engagement, particularly with Veterans V1 bonus that improves their grenade cooldowns. This has been really needed because the amount of times you could shoot. You get a machine gun, you suppress a shock squad, they lob a smoke grenade, you get your machine gun, you pull it back, reposition. Who's that? Death gun, thank you for 50 months, dude. Cheers, buddy. So, you get a machine gun, you suppress a shock squad, the shock squad lobs a smoke, you get your machine gun, you pull it back a bit to give yourself some more breathing room, you set your machine gun up again, and then by the time you've set your machine gun up again, they can just charge forward and lob another smoke grenade, and that keeps repeating, and you just lose that engagement. Here, now they've increased the grenade range, they've increased the cooldown by 8. It means that it'll take longer. I think it's 20 seconds, and then 28 seconds, I hopefully think, rather than 20 seconds. So that means that the shock troops can't just keep pushing, with grenades. That's a really good, once they get suppressed, they're screwed. KV-1 has received some changes to make it better suited as a defensive tank. At low levels of veterancy, and allow it to threaten exposed infantry that will try to bypass it. Added hold down mode for veterancy 1. Ooh. Hold down grants -15 reload time and -20% received damage. Increase the performance of the hull and coax machine guns to match those of the T-34 and 76. Interesting. Hold down on the KV-1. The IS-2 has been moved to tech, but its CP requirements have been reduced. Due to its high armor, the IS-2 will come slightly later than the Tiger. Additionally, the has received boosts. It has received boosts to its main gun with a new veterancy 1 to allow it to operate as a breakthrough tank. The requirement now 10. Now requires the mechanized arm. Okay, so the tier 4 to be built. Cool. Fragmentation shells. Interesting. I wonder how that plays. I want to probably test fragmentation shells on a IS-2. That's a new ability. Like to see what that does. So it's 45 munitions. AOE of. It's kind of like So it's basically like that M8 shrapnel shot, but I guess with an IS-2 or something. Wonder how that works. Right, partisan troops. Partisans have received several changes to solidify their role as behind enemy lines, infiltration, and ambush infantry. This will allow them to operate behind enemy lines more effectively, as well as help them scale better. Thank you, McCaff, for the follow. So the sight has been increased. Capture and decapture rate has been increased. Their accuracy has been increased at efficiency 2 when attacking from stealth, which is nice. So it encourages you to keep them alive, so they can do better later on. Efficiency 1 gives a concussion trap ability that can plant it on captured territory points. 50 munitions, every stuns an enemy squad, and that ambushes the cap. Ooh, that's nice. So they try and cap the point, they get stunned, and you nade them when they're stunned and kill the squad. Interesting. That sounds quite nice, actually. That could be cool. Partisan tank hunters. Reinforcement costs and timing reduced to match those anti-infantry partisans. Partisans are quite a lot cheaper in terms of reinforcement costs, and the reinforcement time has been reduced as well. Cool. KV-2 will now have reduced CP requirement, but it will require tier 4 as well. 10 CPs. Defensive tactics. We feel this commander was slightly underpowered because of its abilities being lackluster. The commander has received a small overhaul. Tank jobs and mines have been merged. An anti-tank watch ability has been added. Okay, yeah. Here we go. NKVD, so they get this. So it's the ability where it will drop a shit ton of anti-tank stuff on tanks, obviously, in a short space of time. And it's a very good ability to hit units that are enemy vehicles that are damage engined and are stunned. For instance, you get a T-34, you ram against an elephant, then you drop the ability. As soon as you initiate the ram, you drop the ability, and then you can wreck the elephant or whatever vehicle you've hit. And that ability is going to be moved over to defensive tactics. So it's got a nice late game ability. So that'll be quite a nice commander actually. Now, because then you can get the Dishkas, the mortars. So you can basically skip tier 2. So you can go tier 1 penals, go with this commander, because you've got your support weapons as call-in units. And then late game, you've got the anti-tank overwatch ability, which can help you out kill late game vehicles. That's quite nice, actually. Right, boys, that's it. That was the patch notes. Hope you enjoyed that. We spent about, what, 20... Hey guys, thank you for watching that video. If you want more content, please click on the link over here and over here. If you would like to subscribe, click on the button down here. Also click on the notification bell down there so you're notified whenever I post new YouTube content. I also stream nearly every single day on Twitch. I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/HelpingHans. And if you want to show your support there, please do subscribe, as all your support helps me do this full time. And yeah, guys, I appreciate it as always, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.